So, is the i3 indeed going to be a cult wagon like the Volkswagen Beetle was? It's a thought. I personally think it will. It has been around for almost 10 years now. It has a ton of unique features even today, and I'm going to go over those with you today. And if you do not have an i3, if you've been thinking about buying one, I'll talk about some of the cool features. I think that some of you may decide that even though it's the end of the line for the i3, it'll be around for quite a while for the days to come. So this is the trunk of the i3S. Plenty of space for two people. So one little trick that I use is these actually fold into a halfway up front setup. So if I pull this little latch here, I can bring it back into the normal position. And you notice the trunk is a slight bit smaller when you do that. Nonetheless, I leave them up at the front. When we take guests with us, then we put it back into the proper position unless we do not like them. So one thing I thought was really strange is the use of materials. The first time I got into an i3 back in 2017, I looked at the materials and I was like, what the hell kind of cardboard shit is this? And then I saw this and I was like, what the hell? And then let's throw a little patch of leather on there. And so I was really kind of not exactly taken by that. But when I started looking up the ideology behind it, I find that, okay, so this is basically colored with olive, I believe. Kind of comment if I'm lying. I believe olive branches or olive leaves is how they get the brown color on the leather. So that's ecologically sound. And then this right here is, believe it or not, recycled Coke bottles. Very strange and different. And then this right here is also recycled materials, as is this entire dash material. So very strange indeed, very strange indeed. And so I found that that was kind of off-putting at first. Once I knew what that's all about, I said, you know what? And it actually feels good. It doesn't feel bad at all. It doesn't rattle. It doesn't feel cheap once you kind of get used to the fact that there's a bunch of different materials there. You kind of start liking it. And that's kind of a strange way of putting it, I know, but it's true. So another quirk to this car is the fact that the entire frame structure is made out of carbon fiber. So really kind of ahead of its time, and for a car of this price range, not a heard of thing back in 2013. This was McLaren and Ferrari and you know, high dollar vehicle kinds of materials that they used on this i3. So the back person is always locked in the back until the front person gets out of the car. Kind of a strange quirk. I kind of like it. Getting in and out is easier with the suicide door, but then kind of being trapped back there, as it's never me because I'm usually driving, I don't care. But for those that are sitting back there, probably kind of a bit of an inconvenience, but it's not very often. I wouldn't say this is a for adult kind of car. This is a great car. 2 adults and a child or two would be okay, but 4 adults for short distances, great. I wouldn't take 4 adults on a trip to, you know, Germany to Italy. That would be kind of crazy. So now I'm sitting in the back seat, and This seat right here is still set to the forward position, so we can get some extra space in the back. And I'm actually not sitting quite so bad. I still have a good bit of space up here. The seat in front of me is set to about, I think, a 6-foot person. Knee space is, well, I can still fit in there a little bit. If I scooch and sit upright, then I've got a little more space. But overall, it's not too bad. The other thing that a lot of you, even those of you that are already owners, may not know is that the roof material is actually made out of carbon fiber also. So another little quirk. If you have a sunroof, which we don't in this vehicle, then it is not made out of carbon fiber. But if you don't have a sunroof, carbon fiber. When you open the hood, or frunk as they like to call it, this is what you get. You get a little lunchbox. And some things that are strange here are the fact that there's no lid and it is not waterproof. It's splash proof. It has a little lip here, a rubber lip, and there's another little rubber lip up here to keep water from getting in here. But it does get wet in there. Not a whole lot, but water can get in. So a lot of people have gotten inventive and they make little lids for them. But nonetheless, yeah, why they did not weatherproof this, who knows? I guess all the costs went to the carbon fiber. So with all the quirkiness and all the strangeness put aside, at the end of the day, when you drive this, you still know that you're driving an ultimate machine. And you can tell they built this just like any other BMW to be driven. You can absolutely tell that there's BMW technology behind it, BMW dynamics. The 120 amp hour battery is super sufficient for day-to-day. Would I take this on a trip from, say, where we're at here in Germany to Spain? I would have to think about it and really plan it out. But, you know, what's there to say about stopping every 120, 140 miles and, you know, taking a break? And then half an hour, 45 minutes later, getting back in your car and continuing. If you're willing to do those things, then this is the car for you. And daily, I can tell you it's awesome. If you're not commuting more than 30, 40 miles a day, then this car is absolutely awesome. You will always be able to charge it at home. Great car. With that, I hope you enjoy the review, and we'll get it on the road here in the next few days, and I'll kind of give you a review of how it feels on the road, and we'll talk about that a bit.